how to make mind maps. Frankly, I have a feeling that not everyone knows what mind maps are. So I'd like to start with you imagining this situation. It's been a wonderful day. You've had so many bright ideas about what you should do in your vacation that you started brainstorming them, maybe even written them down somewhere on a piece of paper. But by the end of the day, all these thoughts seem to disappear. You cannot understand anymore what you've written down on those little sticky notes, and all those wonderful thoughts simply vanished. That happens with me all the time, and not just when I start thinking about vacation. So it appears that mind maps are graphical organizer that allows me consolidate information and express it in the means of single words, images, and sometimes symbols, allows me to get back to my brilliant thoughts. It is best if you connect those images, words, and symbols in some meaningful way, and if you use colors to consolidate them in one sort of thinking, that even would be better. So MindMap is a graphic organizer that puts together in a very concise way your brilliant thoughts and connects them. I have a feeling that there is more than one way that one can come up with their own mind map. And frankly, I think it depends on the level of familiarity with the topic. For me, most likely I will start with brainstorming. So I could demonstrate this method on this simple example. Let's say you come to the classroom and you and your friends start to brainstorm ideas about energy saving at school. And brilliant ideas pop up here and there. You only have time to maybe jot them down. At the end, it might be a mess of various brilliant suggestions. But what if you thought about every one of these suggestions and sort of clamped them together into the same theme? More like, in a way, a bike, walk, and taking a bus are connected because they both talk about transportation. I probably can clamp together energy efficient bulbs, shutting the lights off, and maybe using solar energy because somehow that is connected to lighting. I might put together the ideas about shutting off the equipment that's not being used or shutting it off for the weekend or holidays and say that all of that is about office equipment. I also might put together closing doors and windows and using the insulation together with the thermostat. And so now all of these brilliant ideas are organized in 4 groups. In fact, when I was preparing for this video, you could tell I color-coded every one of these suggestions. That is probably because I kind of had an idea of what I would talk to you about. In reality, you would have to sort them together. As a result, I simply can connect them into branches with a specific topic. At the end, my map might look something like this. Now, if I ever have to give a speech about what the class decided about the opportunities to save energy at school, I have this template of the conversation or a speech that will allow me to talk about it in a specific order without forgetting any details. Sometimes, and mostly when I organize my ideas second and third time, Sometimes we are more familiar with the topic than with something that we approach for the first time. And we might already have an idea about what kind of themes we want to address while saving energy at school. We might already know that we will need to work something for office equipment and heat and conditioner or lighting and transportation. And then you might start brainstorming by yourself or with your friends ideas for these specific branches. But in the end, the result is the same. You might have those thoughts separated into different branches, or your branches might have different names than what your friend would do. But the main idea is the same. You have all these brilliant thoughts organized and available to you at first request. And that is the power of visualizing your ideas and connection.